Good morning to all. So in the last class we discussed about different types of networks and also regarding the wireless local area network. So in this class we have to focus on the topic the internet. So this topic is the second most important topic of this module, which is the introduction to networking. So we already discussed about the internet in the first module itself. So basically we have to refresh that topic again, and also we have to focus on the topics like the internet services and also how to connect to the internet and also some internet access services. So these are the major topics which comes under the second topic of this module, which is the internet. So regarding the definition of the internet is a global system of interconnected computer networks that use the standard internet protocol suite, the TCP or IP, to serve billions of users worldwide. So this is the definition for the internet, in which it helps to connect to the network, the world of networks, with the help of this internet services. So basically it is a network of networks that consist of millions of private, public, academic, business and government networks of local to global scope that are linked by a broad array of electronic and optical networking technologies. And also the internet carries a vast array of information resources and services, and most notably the interlinked hypertext documents of the World Wide Web, which is the www dot, and the infrastructure of support electronic mail. So basically the internet is a kind of a network of networks, and it helps to access the resources, the information and like all these kind of things with the help of this network of this network, which is the internet. Then most traditional communication media such as telephone and television servers are reshaped into this redefined kind of this technology using this internet. And also regarding the origin, some history of this internet, the origins of the internet reach back to the 1960s, and during the Cold War in 1960s, the Advanced Research Project Agency, which is the ARPA of US Defense Department, funded a project to connect university scientists and engineers together via their computers and telephone lines. So this was the first major kind of interconnecting these kind of computers or this kind of devices from 1960 onwards. So during the Cold War, the defense or the US Defense Department, they funded a project in order to connect the university scientists and also the engineers together via their computers and telephone lines. And this was done in response to the threat of possible nuclear attack by the Soviet Union. And this project was called as the ARPANET. So we already discussed about this topic in the first module during the history of these computers. So regarding the ARPANET, which is the Advanced Research Project Agency Network, it is a kind of group of network which enables those connected to communicate with each other and use each other's files facilities. And also, as it turned out, the most popular feature of ARPANET was the use of electronic mail, which is the email between the users. So in order to share the information between a group from to a person or the users, this internet or this facility of this networking was a kind of very informative or very successful during that time onwards. So the ARPANET is regarded as a kind of a very important factor in the history of this internet. So basically this project of the by the US was started in 1960s during the Cold War, and that was the beginning of this internet age or the age of internet. Then from this humble beginning, more people got into this act, and also more networks were formed. Electronic mail and file transfers via the network became increasingly popular, and soon these combinations of networks took on its current popular name, the internet. So basically it is developed from this kind of earliest forms to this kind of very powerful kind of this group of these networks, and the name came, which is the internet. So the name it also suggests that it just interconnects two or more or a group of computers or networks together, and we can share our information, any data, any kind of these files with the help of this internet accessibility. So that's regarding a quick overview regarding the history of the internet. Then in fact, the word internet is coined from the words interconnections and network. So basically, the internet means the interconnections and the network. So both these terms are connected or joined to form the term which is the internet. So the internet grew and grew, and also the standard transmission protocol, which is the TCP, and the addressing protocol called the Internet Protocol IP was developed in 1975, and in 1992 the World Wide Web was introduced to the internet by Tim Berners-Lee, a Swiss software engineer. So basically we have to focus on the two these kind of inventions or development. First one is regarding the TCP, which is the Transmission Control Protocol, and also the IP, which is the Internet Protocol. So these are the major advancement after the introduction to the network. So basically these kind of two inventions, basically the protocol and also the WWW, the World Wide Web, both these kind of advancement made the internet more popular, and it helped the users to get more information in a very simplified manner, which means with the help of these other internet services like the search engines and also this kind of transfer protocols, etc. But the internet became very popular by accessing this kind of information, any kind of this information with the help of this group of this networks, which is the internet. Then the World Wide Web, it uses a graphical hypertext interface in order to create and also access the documents, and this is the fact that the most popular method used today, and most internet users are familiar with the hypertext transfer protocol, which is the HTTP, used in the web pages. And also the web pages today have text, graphics, and even sound and movies, making it interesting for people to access them. So the HTTP also made the internet to make the internet more popular, and it advanced the forms like the graphics and also the kind of pictures, movies, even sound in this kind of websites. So HTTP helps to coordinate to make advance this kind of websites in a very good manner. So these are the terms that we have to focus on. The first one was regarding the TCP and IP, which was introduced in 1975. Then in 1992, the World Wide Web was introduced by the Swiss software engineer, who is Tim Berners-Lee. Then after that, the HTTP also introduced in order to access the websites in a very systematic manner, and also all this kind of advancement made the internet more popular. So this is the some important aspects regarding the internet, the development of the internet. Then the internet has no centralized governance in either technological implementation or policies for access and usage. Each constituent network sets its own standards. Only the overreaching definitions of the two principal name spaces in the internet, the internet protocol address space and also the domain name system. So this internet protocol address means the IP address and also the domain, the DNS. Both these are regarded as a kind of two major principal namespaces in the internet. So these two aspects, they just direct the internet. So basically this IP and the DNS are directed by a maintainer organization, the Internet Corporation, for the assigned names and the numbers, which means the ICANN, which means the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, and the internet backbone through the which the internet traffic flows is owned by private companies. So basically there are different types of companies, they hold this kind of internet accessibility. They give their shares, they sell the internet kind of these websites to the companies and for this organization like that. So with the help of this private and also for the by the government in organization, they helps to get the internet more popular, to access the internet, to get the this kind of resources and information in a very systematic and in a very simple manner with the help of this internet. So we can search any kind of this information with the help of this internet, and also the services of this internet are very helpful, and it became the inevitable part of our life. And today the internet, a user, with the help of this internet, a user can get the information about the latest sports scores, the sports scores, and the stock prices, news, watch movie previews, reviews, and also the we can hear the sound clips, chats with the people thousands of miles away, etc. So all these kind of things are became popular, and they have no specific charges. We have to pay for these internet service providers in order to access the internet, or the data providers, but there is no kind of charges for this specific apps. And also we have the paid apps or paid applications, and this kind of services also available in the internet. So basically the internet is a kind of a combination of many kind of this internet services and applications, and it helps to access the information and any kind of this entertainment aspects with the help of this internet. Then the only charges the user has to pay are to the internet service provider, which is ISP, and all the telephone company, and these at minimal rate. So the both the ISP, which means it helps to connect to the internet, they are the they helps to connect the so the only charges the user has to pay are to the internet service provider, which is the ISP, and the telephone company. So these are the basics, or the just an overview regarding the internet. Now we have the topic, the getting connected. So how to connect to the internet. So moving to the next topic, which is the how to connect to the internet or getting connected. So basically we need four important things in order to connect to the internet. They are the most important aspects regarding internet in order to access the internet. So basically the first one is the computer itself, second one is the modem, and third one is the browser software, and the fourth one is the internet service provider. So these are the four important aspects which is related to the term internet, in which we need all these kind of aspects in order to access the internet. Then regarding a computer, the processor of the computer should be the fastest of that category, the faster kind. There should be a kind of moderate kind of this technology which is related to the computer, or any kind of these aspects. So now we have the next topic, which is the how to connect to the internet. So basically we need four important things in order to access the internet. So the first one is the computer itself, second one is the modem, and third one is the browser software, and the fourth one is the ISP, which is the internet service provider. So these are the most important aspects in order to access the internet. So the first one is a computer. So a computer, regarding the computer, the preferably with a fast processor and also with lots of memory, which means that a computer should work in a very good manner in order to access the internet. So the processor should be in its full performance, and also there should be lots of memory in order to save the data. Then the second one is the modem. So the modem is one of the most fundamental of this internet accessibility, in which the modem should perform in a, continuously without any kind of distractions, which means that the modem should perform in a very good manner. So basically the high speed digital kind of this modem should be very good for this kind of internet accessibility. Then third one is the browser software. So we need a dependable browser software in order to access the internet. So it is according to our preference in which we can choose a kind of browser software. Then the last one is an ISP. So ISP is the most important aspect in order to access the internet. They provide the internet. So ISP means the internet service provider. So they are the kind of a service or a organization. They give a kind of functionality in order to connect to the internet by providing this kind of internet accessibility, in which so the fourth one is an ISP. So ISP means the internet service provider. So an internet service provider is a service that connects your home or office computer to the internet. So which means that the internet service provider or the ISP, they grant this kind of accessibility to get the internet in a very good manner. So without the ISP we cannot get the internet. Maybe the ISP, maybe the mobile network provider, or any kind of this broadband provider. So basically ISP means they provide the internet without any distractions. So that's regarding the four major aspects of the to how to connect to the internet. Then there are a number of pieces of software that work together to connect you to the internet. The first and most complicated is the dialer or the socket software, and this is the software that makes the physical connection with the ISP's computer and the internet. This needs to be configured only once, but you will need instruction from the your ISP on how to do this, as each ISP has a different setup. So in order to connect to the internet, the ISP, they provide different types of connections. So the fourth point is regarding an ISP. So ISP means an internet service provider who provides the internet to the user, who are the uses the internet. And an internet service provider is a service that connects your home or office computer to the internet. So basically they helps to connect to the internet. So this is regarding the fourth point, and now we have to focus on the different types of softwares which is used as this kind of to access this internet. So the first one is regarding the dialer or the socket software. So this is the most complicated kind of this software, in which this is the software that makes the physical connection with the ISP's computer and the internet. And this needs to be configured only once, but you will need instruction from your ISP on how to do this, as each ISP has a different setup. So according to the ISP, there should be a kind of a different configuration for each kind of this internet connectivity. So basically this configuration is one of the most complicated kind of this software installation, in which it is required only once, and we get this kind of connection. But in order to configure for the first time, it is very difficult. It is like the complicated kind of this software, which is the dialer or the socket software. So this means that the ISP, the internet service providers, that their service, they just configure the internet to our computer with the help of this modem. So that's regarding the first kind of the software. Second kind of software is very common, which is the web browser. So the web browser means it helps to locate the websites and also allow the users to go through all these kind of websites and to search through this kind of this internet, the world of internet. And also the major thing regarding the so the second kind of this software is the internet browser. So the internet browser or the web browser means it is the program that locates the websites for you, and also to allows the users in order to go through all kind of these websites and to get this kind of resources. And also the World Wide Web, which is the kind of the collection of this kind of web pages. So we can access all this kind of website with the help of this web browsers. So that's regarding the just an overview regarding the web browsers. And some of the commonly used kind of this web browsers includes the Google Chrome, then Mozilla Firefox, or the Internet Explorer, and also this kind of Safari. So all these kind of softwares are regarded as the web browsers in order to surf the internet. Then we have the last kind of this software, which is the email program. So emails or the electronic mail, it helps to send the message via in the digital form with the help of this internet. So this program controls sending, composing, and receiving the email, and also most email programs can also be used to read the posting and for the news groups. So with the help of these emails, we get the latest updates regarding the all this kind of information, and also we can send or receive the messages through with the help of this email facility. So these are the major kind of this softwares which is related to the internet. So the first one is the socket or the dialer software in order to configure the ISP to our computer or any kind of this device. Second one is the web browsers, and third one is regarding the email program. Now we have some important terms which is related to this internet, which includes the World Wide Web, then the file transfer protocol, and also the email and news groups, and also the internet relay chat IRC, search engines, ICQs, and also the internet services. So all these kind of softwares and this kind of services, it helps to access the internet in a very good manner, in which we can access the information, we can send our messages to any other person, we can get the kind of this entertainment with the help of this internet, we can search for anything. So there are many kind of these advantages for this internet. So these are the kind of major services by the internet, and we have to focus on all these kind of internet access service, which is the third topic which comes under the internet services. So basically we have regarding the internet services, we have to focus on the HTTP, then the World Wide Web, and also the web browsers in a detailed manner. Then the search engines, also the electronic mail, the email in a detailed manner. So before that, we have to focus on the topic, the internet access services. So regarding the internet access services, we have different types of connection in which how we can get connected to the internet. So basically the first one is regarding the DSL connection. So DSL means the digital subscriber line, and also second one is regarding the dial-up connection, and third one is ISDN, which is integrated service digital network, then the cable connection, then also we have the wireless internet connections, then the T1 line, and then the T3 lines, then OC3, which means the optical fiber type of connection, and lastly we have the satellite connection. So these are the different types of connection that we have to focus on. So the ISP will also provide the information on how to configure the software, and this can be simple and also difficult depending upon our operating system. And once configured, you simply run the software, connect your computer's modem to the ISP's modem, giving the access to the internet. So this means that once this internet connection is set up in our home or in the office, we can access this internet connection without configuring again. So we have to configure this kind of connection once in our computer or the modem. So like that we can connect So once we configured this modem or this any kind of this device, we can connect to the internet without reconfiguring this kind of network connectivity. So that's regarding the internet access services and introduction for that. Then the first type of connection is the dial-up connection. So the dial-up connection is the oldest method of internet access and is still around today, and also the dial-up access remains useful because of only it's regarding its price. And using a modem connected to your PC, the user need to connect when the computer dials a phone number which is provided by your ISP and connects to the network. So the dial-up means a kind of analog connection in which we have to dial to a certain phone number in order to get connected to the internet. So this is the one of the oldest forms of this internet connection, and its speed ranges from 2400 kb per second to 56 kb per second. So this is the kind of this first category of this types of connection. Second one is the ISDN. So the ISDN means Integrated Service Digital Network, which is the ISDN. It is an international communication standard for sending video, voice, and also data over the digital telephone lines or normal telephone wires. And also the typical ISDN need range from the 64 kb per second to 128 kb per second. So this is the kind of an upgrade for the dial-up connection in which we can get the speed range from 64 kb per second to 128 kb per second, and also it also uses this kind of normal digital telephone line in order to transfer this kind of data. So the Integrated Service Digital Network ISDN is also a kind of internet connectivity that we have to depend upon. And the third one is one of the most popular one, which is the DSL connection. So the DSL means Digital Subscriber Line, and it is also an always on connection because it uses existing two-wire copper telephone line connected to the premise and will not tie up your phone as dial-up connection does. So this is basically a kind of telephone connection, and regarding the DSL connection, there should be a different line for the internet connection and also a different line for the telephone. So there is no kind of this tie-up between the telephone line and the internet connectivity. Like the dial-up connection, we have to connect to the telephone line to the computer or the modem in order to access the internet. So that's regarding just a difference between the dial-up modem and the DSL connection. Then the two main categories of DSL for home subscribers are called the ADSL and also the SDSL. So the ADSL means the asymmetric digital subscriber line, and also the SDSL means the symmetric digital subscriber line. So these are the two types of this DSL connection, and its speed, the ADSL, regarding the ADSL, its speed is from 1.5 MB per second to 9 MB per second, and also regarding the SDSL connection, its speed is 128 kb per second to the 8 MB per second. So this is regarding the DSL connection, and also it uses this two-line copper line, which is the telephone line to get connected to the internet. So that's regarding the DSL connection. Then the fourth one is regarding the cable connection. So with the cable that we used to watch the movies, so the third one is regarding the cable connection. So through the use of cable modem, you can have this kind of broadband internet connection, which is designed to operate over the cable TV lines. So these cable lines are operated by the cable TV operators, in which it is like the broadband connection. And we can combine this kind of TV and also the cable TV and also the internet connectivity together. And many service providers, they provide the combo offers in which the cable TV and also the internet connectivity together. So the speed of this cable is from the 512 kb per second to 20 MB per second. So that's regarding the cable kind of this connection. So which means that it is just comes with the so this means that it comes along with the TV connection, cable TV connection. So that's regarding the fourth one. And fifth one is regarding the wireless internet connections. So the wireless internet or the wireless broadband is one of the newest internet connection type. Instead of using this telephone or cable networks for your internet connection, they use the kind of radio frequency band. So this means that there is no kind of wired connection for this wireless internet connection. It uses the radio frequency in order to access the internet, just like the satellite or just like the wireless any kind type of connection. This connection also uses this kind of radio frequency in order to get the internet. So basically one point that we have to focus on is that the under the wireless internet connection, it uses the radio frequency bands instead of these wired connections. And it is most popular in the metropolitan areas, and we can access the internet better than any kind of this dial-up or the DSL connection in a very systematic manner with the help of this proper wireless internet connection. So the strength of that wireless connection should be at a minimum level in order to get the internet in a very speed manner. So that's regarding the wireless internet connection. Then the sixth one is regarding T1 lines. So the T1 lines are popular leased line option from the business connecting to the internet, and also for the internet service providers, they connect to the internet backbone. So this is dedicated phone connection supporting data rates of 1.5 MB per second. So this means that this is just like the updated version of this telephone line connection, and this is normally known by the name T1 connection, and it is used for the business purposes. So the T1 access or T1 line support the speed up to 1.5 MB per second. So it is an updated kind of this telephone line connection, internet connection. And the seventh point is regarding T3 lines. So it is just like the upgrade for the T1 lines. And regarding T3 lines, they are dedicated phone connections supporting data rates of about 43 to 45 MB per second. So this is just like the most advanced form of internet connection in which we get up to 45 MB per second, the speed per second, and of this data rates, and also we can access the data in a very faster manner than the any type of the former connection, which includes the DSL connection and the T1 connection, also the cable TV connection, wireless connection, and the T3 connection is just above all this kind of this connection, in which it just give the speed up to 45 MB per second, 43 to 45 MB per second. Then the eighth one is the OC3 connection. So OC3 means it is just a short form of the optical carrier. So the optical carrier means it uses the optical fiber, the FTTH connections. So the OC3 connection, it is short for the optical carrier level 3 connection, and it is used for to specify the speed of fiber optical network conforming to the SONET standard. OC3 is typically used as a fiber optic backbone for large network, and it speeds up to 155 MB per second, and it is just like the speed of 100 T1 lines, which means the 100 times faster than the T1 lines. So regarding T1 lines, we have only 1.5 MB per second. So regarding the OC3 line, we have the 155 MB per second. So this is just like the 100 times faster than the T1 connection. So the OC3 or the optical fiber is one of the most advanced form of this internet connectivity, which is available in every kind of this types of connection, and it is provided by different types of internet service provider also. Then the last one is regarding the satellite connection. So the satellite connection, which means that it uses the internet over the satellite, which means iOS, and allows the a user to use the internet via the satellite that orbits the Earth. And also the satellite is placed at the static point above the Earth surface in a fixed position, and because of this enormous distance, signals must travel from the Earth up to the satellite and back again. So regarding the satellite connection, the speed is up to only 512 kb per second also. So it is also a kind of normal type of connection, and the most advanced form of this connection, which includes the T3 lines and the OC3 lines, which means the optical carrier or the optical fiber type of connection. So regarding these types of 10 different types of connection, we have 10 different types of connection. So the one point that we had to focus on is that what type of connection is that, and also the speed of the connection. So we have basically different types of telephone lines in the first segment. Second segment was regarding the cable type of connection, and we have the wireless connection and also the T line connection, T1 and T3 line, and lastly we have the OC3 connection and the satellite connection. So that's regarding the different types of internet access services. So now we have the third topic of this module, which is the internet services. So what are the different types of internet services? So now we have to focus on the topic different types of these internet services. So the first one is the HTML. So the HTML means the hypertext markup language. So the hypertext markup language is the information that is added to a document to convey the information about the document structure or presentation. And also the markup languages are all around us in everyday computing. While you not see it, word processing documents are filled with codes indicated with the structure and presentation of the document. So the HTML, the hypertext markup language, it is the very important factor regarding the codes and also the documents form, as well as for the websites, in order to form that kind of document in the layout of the websites, and even any kind of these documents. So we already discussed about the HTML in the first module itself. So the HTML was created by the Tim Berners-Lee in collaboration with Robert Callue while they worked in CERN in 1989, and also the HTML is based on SGML. So SGML means the standard generalized markup language. So the hypertext markup language is based on this standard generalized markup language, and also the the international standard, the ISO 8879, for also certified for this kind of HTML connectivity. And also the goal for the HTML was to create a platform which is independent language for constructing the hypertext documents to communicate, and also the multimedia information easily over the internet. So the HTML is very helpful to create the websites, to design the websites, and also to transfer this kind of information through websites. Then the HTML is the predominant markup language for web pages, and it provides a means to create the structured documents by denoting the structural semantics for text, as well as headings, paragraphs, lists, and also for the links, quotes, and other items like that. So the first point regarding HTML is that this is very important predominant markup language for the web pages. So in order to make a web pages or websites, we need the HTML kind of that type of this formation in order to form the layout of this websites. So this is regarding the first point regarding the HTML. And the HTML is composed to the three major parts, which includes a line containing the HTML document type. Second one is a declarative header element, which is delimited by the head tag. And third one is a body, which contains the document's actual content, which means the body tag. So we have three types of HTML components, which means the first one is a line containing the HTML document type. Then the second one is regarding the header of that website or the HTML kind of that layout, which means the head tag. And the third one is the body tag. So basically a line tag, then the head tag, and also the body tag. So this is regarding the three different parts of the HTML. So the first point was regarding the it is very helpful to create the layout for the website. So the second one is regarding the three types of components of the HTML. The first one is regarding the line containing HTML document type. Second one is regarding the declarative header element, which means the head tag. Third one is regarding the body tag, which is the content of that website. Then both the head and the body must be enclosed in the Now we have the some practical side of this HTML. So I just show some kind of this HTML codes, which includes the HTML, then the title, head, like that. So all these kind of codes are very important regarding HTML. So just go through this kind of codes and forms of the HTML. Now we have to focus on the practical side of this HTML. So the HTML is divided into three major parts. The first one is the line, the heading of the main content of that. Then the second one is the header tag. Third one is regarding the body tag, the content tag. Now we have to focus on the practical side of this HTML. So the HTML is a combination of different types of codes. So for example, the HTML itself, then the title tag, then the also the head tag. So all these kind of tags are very important, and all these kind of tags have different types of attributions in which, and all these kind of tags have different types of attributes in which it gives a different types of output as in the website. So basically we have to do a kind of practical thing in order to get this kind of information regarding the HTML. So we have a activity in the textbook itself from page number 221, in which we have to type this kind of codes in the text editor of the computer, and we have to save that file in the HTML extension, and then open that extension in the web page, any kind of this web search engine, or the and we have to open that the file in the web page. So that's regarding the practical side of the HTML. And also the HTML, we have to focus on the first point is that the kind of this use of this HTML. Second one is regarding the different types of components, and third one is regarding different types of codes like the HTML body tag and also the title tag, etc. So these are the important aspects regarding the HTML. So that's regarding the first topic of this internet services, which is the HTML. And now I am going to wind up today's class. So in this class we discussed about the internet itself and how to connect to the internet. Then regarding the internet access services, different types of accessible services of the different types of internet connectivity, how we can connect to the internet, 10 different types of connections. And then we discussed about the internet services, the third topic of this module, and the first point regarding the first topic under the third the internet services, which is the HTML. And that's regarding the important aspects regarding this kind of topics. And now we have different types of internet services, which includes the World Wide Web, then the blogs, email, etc. So all these topics we will discuss in the next class. So that's for today. Thank you. Happy learning.